Hello everyone. In this video, we're gonna do a recap of a manga called Lost End. This one's so new it doesn't even have a rating on my anime list yet. It's got action, adventure, horror, and some supernatural vibes. The story follows a 40-year-old guy named Kujo Shinichiro, who's had a pretty rough life. Wanna know what happens on Kujo's journey? But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Kujo's the kind of guy who's just too nice for his own good. He can't stand seeing someone in trouble without jumping in to help. But because he's such a good guy, people tend to take advantage of him, making his own life way harder than it needs to be. He's got a tough job, especially considering he's already hit the big 40. One day, while he's working, Kujo spots this young dude who just had an accident. Without even thinking, Kujo rushes over to help. But instead of getting a thank you, the guy clocks Kujo right in the face because he didn't want his jacket getting dirty. Talk about ungrateful. Kujo's co-worker, Watanabe, knows all too well how Kujo's kindness gets him into trouble. He tries to give him some advice, telling him not to be so nice to everyone. Kujo knows he's too soft, heck, even his wife left him because of it. Suddenly, Kujo's phone buzzes, and it's a message from his daughter, Yu. That message makes his day because, honestly, Yu's the only bright spot in his life right now. Tomorrow's the big day when Kujo's finally going to meet his daughter for the first time. Watanabe hears this and can't help but feel a little jealous. He opens up about his own situation. He's about to get divorced, and it looks like he might never get to see his daughter again. Just then, another worker interrupts their chat. Before getting back to work, Kujo tells Watanabe, "If you need anything, just let me know." "Kujo, you're too kind." When Watanabe heard that, he got a bit suspicious. He then asked Kujo to meet up somewhere after work. Turns out, Watanabe needed a pretty hefty amount of cash. With that kind of money, he might be able to see his daughter again. Since he didn't have that much on hand, he wanted to borrow Kujo's name to get it. Kujo, being too nice for his own good, was actually considering Watanabe's offer. But then, out of nowhere, a young woman showed up and tore up the contract Watanabe had given Kujo. And guess what? That beautiful young woman was Yu, Kujo's daughter. Yu was totally fed up with her dad being too nice and always getting taken advantage of. She grabbed him and dragged him out of the restaurant, away from Watanabe. But Watanabe wasn't too happy about what Yu did. Kujo tried to explain things to his daughter, but Yu snapped back, saying that being too nice ruined their family, and her mom even said that if her dad didn't change, she wouldn't let Yu see him anymore. Yu then ran off crying. Seeing her so upset, Kujo pulled her into a hug and apologized. He promised he wouldn't do it again. When Yu heard that, she was like, "This time, Dad, you really gotta protect me." After that whole drama, they had a good time. Kujo was set on changing for his daughter. But out of nowhere, Watanabe showed up in front of Yu and took her hostage. He was desperate, and Kujo freaked out, seeing his own co-worker holding his daughter. Kujo tried to talk Watanabe down, asking why he was doing this. Then, Watanabe dropped a bombshell. He blamed Kujo, saying Kujo had promised to help him out. Kujo was totally confused, like, why am I getting blamed for this? Watanabe pulled out some contract that Kujo hadn't signed and threatened that if Kujo didn't do what he wanted, his daughter would pay the price. Yu then told her dad he didn't have to do what Watanabe wanted. But Watanabe lost it, trying to stab Yu with a knife. Without thinking, Kujo ran toward them to save his daughter because he promised he'd protect her. Watanabe warned Kujo to back off, but Kujo, who always acted before thinking, didn't stop. Watanabe switched the knife's direction and accidentally cut Kujo's throat. As Kujo's vision started fading, he saw his daughter crying over him and Watanabe about to stab her. The next thing Kujo knew, he was in some park he didn't recognize. Kujo was tripping hard when he suddenly found himself in a place overflowing with flowers. He wasn't alone, though, Everyone else around him was just as lost and confused. Out of nowhere, this woman with a super out there vibe showed up. Her name was Timora, and she was like the gatekeeper of this weird place. Everyone was freaking out, trying to figure out where the heck they were. One dude finally asked the question on everyone's mind, and Timora hit them with some wild news. They'd lost their memories because of some serious shock. Then, with just a snap of her fingers, everything came flooding back. They were all dead. Yeah, you heard that right. They couldn't believe it, especially Kujo. With his memories back, Kujo recalled that in his final moments, he saw Watanabe trying to kill his daughter. The place they were in? It was the Sanzu River, the spot where souls get taken to the afterlife on a boat. Nobody wanted to believe they were actually dead, and they were definitely not ready to hop on that boat. Kujo, still in denial, dropped to his knees in front of Timora, begging her to bring him back to life. He didn't care if it was just for a little while, he just needed to save his daughter. Seeing Kujo, everyone else started pleading to be brought back to life too. So, Timora gave them a choice. There was just one way to come back to life. When they heard that, they got super excited, thinking there was still hope. Timora pointed them to this tall mountain, saying that at the top, there's a door that could bring them back. Some of them started worrying, like, what if our bodies get cremated before we even make it to the top? But Timora was like, don't sweat it. Time doesn't work the same way here. No matter how long you take, the moment you step through that door, you'll be revived right at the moment of death. They were all relieved, especially Kujo, who was thinking he still had a shot at saving his daughter. Among the group, there was this one dude who was a soldier, pretty experienced. They all decided to team up to reach the door together. But then Timora dropped the bomb. The final catch was that only one person could go through the door. Hearing that, their hopes just shattered. They started complaining to Timora, but he was like, sorry, guys, those are God's rules. Can't change 'em. And just to top it off, once someone goes through the door, it won't open again for another 100 years. The crew who once wanted to team up to reach the top. Yeah, they are gone. Now, it's all about who gets to the door first. Timora gives them one last warning. If they don't get on the boat now, it's not coming back. But no one's listening, not even Kujo. He's got a promise to keep, to protect his daughter. Kujo heads into a foggy forest, when out of nowhere, he hears this blood-curdling scream. Someone's calling for help, but with his reckless nature, Kujo's first instinct is to rush in and save the day. But he pauses, realizing there's only room for one person to get out. But, being Kujo, he just can't ignore someone in trouble. So, he runs towards the sound, hoping to help. Through the thick fog, he spots someone crawling, but can't quite make out who it is. As he gets closer, he sees it's a soldier, totally messed up beyond saving. Panic sets in. What the hell happened? Before he can even react, a terrifying creature sneaks up behind him and attacks. Kujo turns, just in time to see the thing going for his head. He tries to fight back, but it's too late. With what little strength he has left, he watches as the creature tears into him. Even then, his determination to save his daughter pushes him to kick the creature away and attempt to escape. But he's out of time, and the creature finishes him off in the most brutal way possible. He came back to life after the creature took him out. He woke up in the park where he first showed up. Will Kujo make it to the top? Can he save his daughter? And what even was that creature? If you're curious about what happens next, check out the manga Lost End. That's all from me. See you in the next video.